We are the Lab Doctors. I'm Amanda.
I'm Dorothy.
And I'm Zhao Yong.
We are biomedical researchers who realized we still have a lot to learn about science.
So why not join us on this quest?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Lab Doctors podcast. So this week we'll be talking about lying and why liars lie. Okay, so I decided to start from the very beginning, which is birth. For most people.
What do you
For all
mean?
people, I would think.
Yeah.
Unless you are a cyborg, I guess. Oh, but
They
it's
are
still
also
a birth.
technically birth.
Okay, yeah, anyway.
I guess.
I guess in terms of
You're
normal human
created.
development.
Yeah.
Okay, here's something crazy that you may or may not know. Psychologists have reported that humans lie as early as age 2.
Oh,
I can see that.
for sure.
Really?
Children, yeah.
Okay, so mostly I think of lying as something verbal or written, so I was curious. And research shows that babies can understand a few basic words by 9 months and can talk by 12 or 18 months. By age 2, babies can string together 2 to 4 word phrases. So at this point, when babies say 2 to 4 words at a time, they are already liars.
Oh.
Even if you're delusional and think your baby is too perfect for lying, some experts actually consider lying as a developmental milestone, like crawling or walking, because it requires sophisticated planning, attention, and the ability to see a situation from someone else's perspective to effectively manipulate them.
Oh, I think the crying is manipulative.
Sometimes I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually lying is more than just words. Okay, so I guess before we move on, so what do y'all think lying is? So does it have to be words or can it just be deception?
I feel like lying has to be more like verbal. Deception can be. And it's like the overarching act.
So there's a bit of verbal aspect to it.
Verbal is like definitely in most cases.
Okay, so before I give you the next stat, do you lie every day? And how many times do you think you lie if the answer is yes?
I lie.
Yeah, I probably lie every day. I'm a pathological liar. I lie for fun sometimes.
We'll circle back to that as well. So is there any day where you think I didn't utter a single lie?
I didn't utter yes, but like I'm hiding my emotions. I'm lying to the people around me.
Yeah,
Lying
which is
to
why.
yourself also.
Yeah,
I
which
guess
is
a
why
thing.
I don't know how people are classifying lying or defining lying. But basically, there's this 2010 study on the prevalence of lying. So they found that in a given 24-hour period, most adults reported not telling any lies. Almost half of the lies recorded in the study could be attributed to just 5% of participants. And most people avoided lying when they could, turning to deception only when the truth was troublesome. Thoughts?
So I think these people are lying when they are doing this.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. I'm like, there's no way. Anyway, sorry. Okay, before I color your thoughts.
I guess maybe they feel that lying has to carry that malicious intent, like you're trying to hide something.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering who is defining lying to them and how is it that most of them reported not telling any lies and most of the lies are attributed to 5% of the people. How? Anyway,
I think you can don't lie because like let's say I am angry at I'm angry at Zhao Yong today.
Yes.
But emotionally like I hide it, like I pretend that I'm all okay. But that's not really lying outwardly because like no one knows my emotions.
Yeah.
And if no one asks me like, are you angry with Zhao Yong today? I don't need to say anything.
But if I ask you, are you okay?
Then I would so if you're asking me about
No, but
so happen what I feel, then I would have to say a lie.
Yeah, the definition is a bit. It depends on the definition. Yeah.
But I
that's
can
the
hide
thing,
it.
which I feel like is a lie in itself. But
Which is how I categorize my lies. As in, when I lie, I'm just not telling the whole truth. Like, I'm telling the truth, it's just not the whole thing. So technically, there's still a level of like deception.
But
and
you
lying.
consider that a lie,
I
right?
consider that a
I
lie,
consider
though.
that a lie too.
Yeah.
But if you don't ask me, I don't need to say anything.
Yeah, which is the point. Like,
Yeah,
you're
but
just not telling the whole truth.
Okay.
But I still kind of categorize that as a lie.
Yeah, so do I. As in like maybe my baseline for lying is very low. And not baseline, threshold.
Yeah.
So I categorize that as a lie. So if I'm not showing my true emotions as well, and if someone asks me if I'm okay, I would, you automatically just say, yeah,
I'm fine. But actually, maybe you're not, and it's a lie.
yeah, it's constantly a lie. So
But that's the thing, it's just not malicious, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess maybe that's a part of it also.
yeah, so I feel like this is a flaw in a lot of the studies, but
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I just contradicted myself because I said like if the guy cheats but he is not exposed, he's still a liar.
He's
And
still
then
a
I'm
liar.
like, oh, but if I pretend that I'm not angry, then I'm not a liar. So I'm a bit confused at myself now.
So maybe it's the intent of whether or not you want to.
Oh, like
be
if I don't want to show
malicious.
that I'm angry with you, I'm with good intent.
As in maybe it is
No.
because you're trying to
Yeah.
keep the peace.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you're
Yeah.
trying
But
to
then you are perpetuating a lie to keep the peace,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is one of the reasons why people lie. But before we go there, okay, so I guess if we go based on my view and everyone lies, the question is by how much? So this behavioral economist, Dan Ariely, says by about 10%. So what does that mean? So like how much do we lie? So in his 2012 book, The Honest Truth About Dishonesty, he talks about this experiment in which subjects solve as many questions as they can in a limited number of time. And then the subjects were paid for each correct answer. So the more correct answers you have, the more you will get paid. So those who turn in their results to the experimenter in the room averaged about 4 out of 20. So like 4 out of 20 questions they got correct. In a second condition in which subjects count up their correct answers, shred their answer sheet, and tell the experimenter in another room how many they got right, they average about 6 out of 20. So from 4 to 6 if you don't have to do the test and like
Right.
actually show them the evidence, you know.
Yeah.
So that's a 10% increase. And the effect held even when the amount paid per correct answer was increased from 25 to 50 cents to $1 to $2 and even $5.
Right.
But at $10 per correct answer, the amount of lying went slightly down. So this researcher, Dan Ariely, says that lying is not the result of a cost-benefit analysis. Instead, it is a form of self-deception in which small lies allow us to dial up our self-image but still retain the perception of being honest, like an honest person.
So it's like how much you can get away with rather
And big
than
lies do not. Yeah. So what he's saying, I guess, is that most people lie, but they don't lie to a very like large extent. They
don't
only
go to
lie,
jail for lying.
So
They
it's
don't do the
only
big-
by about
big
10%. So they're okay to lie if it's like for small things. But when you offer $10 per correct question, they're like, oh, their conscience kind of kicks in and they're like, oh, I can't take $10 from you. Which I found very interesting because, you know, sometimes we think of like deception as like to benefit yourself, but actually there's some part of you which is like, no, I can't be too fake,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
can be
yeah.
this amount of fake.
But is it more of the consequence though? Like let's say, you know, the consequence of
lying.
embezzling money is
Yeah.
damn big and that's why most people don't embezzle money, you know?
Yeah. So it's a bit of your conscience like kicking in as well. Okay, so before we get into what stops people from lying, I guess we'll go into why do people lie. So research published in 2016 by Timothy Levin, a communications expert, investigated reasons for lying. And he said that most lies were told for selfish reasons, such as covering up a personal transgression or gaining an economic advantage. And lies were also told to protect feelings of others and to maintain social politeness.
Yes.
Right.
Overall, it seems that lies occurs when the truth poses an obstacle that someone wants to overcome. Okay,
Right.
but here's the thing. Sam Harris, a neuroscientist who wrote the book Lying, argues that by lying, we deny our friends access to reality. And their ignorance often harms them in a way that we did not anticipate. So like, for example, your friend may act on your lie or like not act on your lie. So it might affect them eventually. And he also notes that research shows that all forms of lying, including white lies, meant to spare feelings of others, are generally associated with poor quality relationships. So the poorer
That's
quality...
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I guess my question to y'all is why do people lie or why do you lie? Is it in line with all these things?
Yeah, it's the consequence for sure. I lie because I just don't want to deal with the consequences. Like a lack of accountability kind of thing.
And to protect... I mean like...
No, it's to protect me.
Okay.
No, because like, okay, let's say like, oh, I lie to spare someone their feelings rather than tell them the truth. It's because I don't want to deal with the feelings that another person is dealing with. It's not because I want to make them feel better.
Okay, I feel like you are discounting the fact that you sometimes do think of other people as well, surely, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to say that the intent is to be like, I don't want them to feel bad, then yeah, that is something that I consider. But then like, it's mainly the troublesomeness of needing to deal with the...
Yeah, and that's the
gets
second
me.
part of it where it's the people like relationship.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
like I don't care enough for you.
Yeah, in a sense, yes.
Like I would correct my husband or my boyfriend because
You care about them.
or my
Enough.
family
Yeah,
member.
yeah.
Right. But if you are not a close friend, I'll just be like,
Okay, whatever, you do you.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I just know you suck in that way. And then I just feel sad for you because you're a terrible human being. for that aspect. You know?
Yeah. It's like if you care enough about the person's like personal growth, you know, you will take the time and you will take the energy to like come down and talk to them about it. But if you don't, then
and it's also how that person will react lah. Like not everyone's gonna be happy if you shoot them down.
That is true.
Yeah, and I think another reason is like how well you know the person and like how willing you are to be vulnerable. Because sometimes lying is not just about protecting other people's feelings; it's about protecting yourself, right? So like if like someone asks you a question about your personal life and you're not willing to share that with the person, then you wouldn't tell them. Yeah. So this whole thing like about lying being associated with poorer quality relationships, like I had to think about it, but it totally made sense to me.
For sure.
Okay, so what stops people from lying? So scientists don't really know what prevents all of us from lying all the time. Okay, but some believe truth-telling is a social norm that we internalize or a result of conflict in our brains between the things that we want and the positive vision of ourselves that we strive to maintain. But the curious thing about this preventative mechanism is that it comes from within, like it's your conscience basically.
Okay.
But external conditions also matter in terms of when and how often we lie. So we are more likely to lie, research shows, when we are able to rationalize it, or when we are stressed or fatigued, or when we see others being dishonest. And we are less likely to lie when we have moral reminders of when we think others are watching. So I think we already covered this. Like mostly like you wouldn't lie if people are watching.
You will lie if people are watching.
No, when you are by yourself, you're more likely to lie or do something dishonest.
Yeah. Or like if people are watching, you are less likely to lie, or like if there's CCTVs or whatever.
Yeah. But then again, I feel like it also kind of depends. So like, let's say maybe I wouldn't lie about a bad thing. Like I wouldn't steal if someone is watching. But like I might also be more willing to give to charity if someone is watching. Even though I might not be a charitable person. So
is
it
that
depends
a lie?
on the type of lie. It depends. So like maybe I'm really not doing it out of goodwill. I'm doing it because I want people to see that I'm a charitable person.
Wait, I'm confused. So if you are with a friend, you will be more likely to lie.
Less likely.
Less likely to lie.
Yeah. But I think it is about negative stuff only.
Okay. But if you're by yourself, you're more likely to lie.
About negative stuff.
Yeah.
I just think that when you are alone, you are more likely the person you are supposed to be. Because, right, okay, so someone told me that you would never know, okay, I would never know how Amanda is as a person unless I see her in public by herself. So Amanda can be very nice to me every day. But like if I somehow see her like by coincidence in public and she is randomly scolding a child or like she beat up someone, then I would really know that, hey, this is Amanda. Okay, like let's say that's really baseless, like you're not beating up someone cause like the person touched you or something, but like just randomly you scold an auntie or what.
Yeah. But I feel like there's no conflict there because then that means that, I mean, this is all hypothetical. That means that when Amanda is hanging out with you, she's lying about being a better person than she actually is. So that's what I mean when I say like when I'm with a friend, maybe I'll be more charitable, but I'm actually not truly that charitable. I'm lying about being good.
Okay.
Whereas when I'm alone, I'm more likely to lie about like doing bad things. So like let's say I'm more likely to
steal
or more likely to
fake a membership.
For a self-identified pathological liar, I can't really think about.
Okay, great. So I'm glad you brought up pathological lying. So like people who lie constantly. So apparently there's why people lie and why don't people lie. But why do liars keep lying? So apparently as the more you lie and if you get away with it, the more likely you are to lie again. And apparently it's also neurological because so this same guy, so Dan Ariely and his colleague showed how dishonesty alters people's brains, making it easier to tell lies in the future. So when people lied, the scientists notice a burst of activity in their amygdala. So the amygdala is a crucial part of the brain that produces fear, anxiety, and emotional responses, including that feeling of guilt when you lie. But when scientists had their subject play a game in which they won money by deceiving their partner, they noticed the negative signals from the amygdala began to decrease. And not only that, when people face no consequences for dishonesty, their falsehoods tended to get even more sensational. So if you give opportunities for people to lie for their benefit, they start with little lies that get bigger and bigger over time.
And does it reach the threshold that you were talking about? Like the $10 one?
They didn't say for this. But I would assume so. As in, but like I think this is more like how often you lie, not how much you lie. So that $10 one is like how much you are lying.
How big of a lie?
How big of a lie it is. Whereas this one is like how often you lie.
Okay.
This totally makes sense. As in, I just want to say, as a self-identified pathological liar, remember just now I said I lie because it's fun? I feel like that whole neurological, like, you know, the sensation of, in a sense, I guess, reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm fully in that now.
And I also feel like the punishment, so like, because the amygdala produces fear and anxiety, right? I feel like that decreases the more you lie because you don't face the consequences.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I feel like Amanda always tells me, I don't understand how you're so good at that.
I don't get it.
Maybe it builds up your self-confidence when you...
Yeah, about lying, exactly.
Yeah,
like,
because you can keep getting away with it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and you get better. It's like a positive feedback.
Practice
loop,
makes perfect.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, so a recent study actually revealed that 13% of people believe themselves to be pathological liars or are deemed so by the people in their social circle. So
You're in rarefied air, I guess.
yes.
Less than 33%.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah, that's the whole topic about lying. And I guess, yeah, so we know where Joy stands in terms of lying.
Okay, I don't lie.
No,
I
it's
just
not.
don't tell the whole truth.
Which is a
lying.
lie. But the thing is like, I lie too, but I'm just not good at it. Or like, it depends what I'm lying about. And I get
Yeah,
so,
I can't. You know those games where you have to like bluff
Yes,
people?
yes.
I can't.
Oh yeah.
I can't even think of how to bluff people. But like,
Same.
I win all the
and I
time.
always lose.
Oh my gosh.
What did we play that time? We played the
Yeah, we played.
the point one.
Yeah, cool.
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 C-O-U-P.
Like C-O-U-P.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was like, 13%, that's actually quite a high number for people to self-identify
Yeah.
or be identified as a pathological liar.
Which is interesting because like that means that these pathological liars are truthful about being pathological liars.
Yeah, but I feel
Because
like
it
it's
boosts their self-confidence when they
does.
want to say that they are.
yeah, it's more
Totally
like
it
being
does.
self-aware, not really telling the truth. But I feel like that 2010 study where they said like most people don't lie. I'm like,
I don't. Yeah, I really think it
The
has to do with their
definition.
Yeah.
definition. Because I don't know, I'm pretty sure I lie
If
on
it's
a daily
verbal, then
basis.
yeah, I don't think I lie every day. But if it's my emotions,
Yeah, like
Oh,
I feel like
interesting.
freaking
hiding
myself
or-
every day.
Exactly, it's
oh my
kind
gosh.
of type of
But I feel
lie.
like, okay, so even if it's verbal, it's because we interact with so many people every day. I can't.
I guess you wouldn't actively notice also
Yeah.
when you're lying. I guess.
People ask me all the time, oh, so how's your day? And then
like,
I say, good. Yeah. I could have like the worst morning ever and then someone like some prof walks by and
No,
like,
so
"How's
that's
your
the day where you lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that happens to me all the time. So I don't understand how people are going about their day not lying ever.
Maybe everyone is just actually feeling good all the time and we're just highly neurotic.
When people ask me like how's your day, I'll be like, okay lor, normal.
Yeah, but it's you say okay law, you don't
As
say
in, cause
bad.
it's really okay lor. Like there's nothing good about it, but there's nothing bad about it. So I don't go like good when it's a bad day.
How about like
For
when
me,
your
it
boss
depends
asks you
on the person
Oh.
also. Yeah.
Oh,
when your boss asks you to do something?
I go sure. So that's the day I lie.
I just don't understand because so if you're living in society, it's just very difficult. I feel like personally for me, if you're living in society and you're interacting with people every day, it's so difficult not to lie.
Yeah, but if I'm
Yeah.
interacting with people I like, there's no reason for me to lie.
Okay, yeah, I feel like that's the difference also. If it's someone that maybe it's a passing acquaintance or I
Not
don't
saying
know.
that I
Yeah.
don't like my boss.
What's happening.
just
It was just an example.
Yeah, but I was like a passing acquaintance. Maybe I'm less likely to really talk about how my day is rather than, you know, a person that I can talk to, I guess.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so I guess that's all I wanted to say about lying. Actually, there's really a lot of research that goes into it, like a lot of neuroscientists and psychologists who have looked into lying and
It's important.
even things like correlations, like do rich people lie more often than poor people?
Do
and
they?
I don't know.
I feel like they do.
Find out
They
if
have
we
more
ever do a lying
power.
episode.
They can bury their lives
Get away
with
it.
money.
Exactly, they can get away with it.
Yeah, I felt like it was out of the scope and we would be talking forever, so I didn't want to bring it up. But yeah, so I just found it very interesting, and there's a lot of books on lying, which is
Like how to get better at lying.
I guess
I'm pretty sure there's a book like that.
I guess the books that I was talking about is like mostly like the neurological reason that we lie, but yeah, I guess there are books on
Yeah,
how
and I
to
think that is
get
important
better at
in
lying.
criminology. Like
It is,
now the lie
yeah.
detectors, what they I mean I don't know, but my basic understanding of lie detectors is like your heart rate.
Yeah.
right? But like there's so many other things about lying.
Yeah. Yeah, basically if you can get a biomarker on whether or not a person is lying.
Like the signal goes up, like the brain one.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that would be a better...
You should attach a light bulb to your head when you're lying. Then the electricity runs through from that
your nose
brain.
becomes longer. And as usual, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Spotify. A like and a comment would really help us out.
You can also follow us on our social media, Instagram, Twitter or Facebook, and feel free to DM us any questions.
Alternatively, you can email us at thelabdoctors@gmail.com. We'll put all the links for the articles that we talked about in the description, so check that out. Bye!
Don't lie. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
If you can get away with it, then lie all you like.
That's bad.